Okay. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay. So just one more time, you can see the setup here. Two chairs with somewhat high enough backs on the chair, backs facing in. So it creates a little training space, a little training ground. And then a chair to sit on. And before we get up and do all of our upright work, we always start the class in a chair, scooting to the front edge of the chair, feet planted on the ground, hands comfortably on the thighs. With the sitting chair, we want to be, ideally, the hips are at the level of the knees or slightly above that, not below that. So we want our chairs to be appropriate for our body. And then we go from here to our basic meditation, breathing in, long and smooth. Breathing out, long and smooth. Let's do that 8 times or so. A very important part of Tai Chi philosophy on how to use our bodies is sung, softness, soft and pliable. That does not mean sloppy and out of control and lacking integrity, but it's just to say not to be gripped in our bodies. And so the gesture of breathing really can be helpful with that, expanding us and then relaxing us. Inhaling, we expand and stretch open. Exhale, we settle the mechanisms, structures, and tissue. Now let's add to that. Slide your hands back, your elbows back, your shoulder blades back, chest and chin up. Arch the back. Get a nice arch there. And then on the exhale, slide your hands forward past your knees, hollow the chest, and round the back and drop your head. So let's do this 4 more times. So inhale, slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, arch the back. And then on the exhale, slide the hands forward past your knees, hollow the chest, round the back, drop your head. And again, inhale. And exhale. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. One more. And final time, inhale, arching, and then settle to neutral. And rotation, left hand forward, right hand and elbow back. Turn, twist. Inhale back to center. And then the other way, turn and twist. Inhale back to center, turn and twist. Sorry, phone call made me lose you guys there. Okay. Inhale back to center, turn and twist. In, exhale. Remember, when you turn your head as well. Turn your head as well, James. When you turn to your right, yeah, turn the head and neck. And then back to center. and then turn the body and turn the head and neck. Let's do that one more each way. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. And then we're back to center. And one more exercise here just to loosen up the torso. Shift your weight to your right buttock. Lean the body sideways. Float your left wrist up and just kind of teeter right at the edge there. And then back to center. And we switch. Lean a little bit over to your left. Side bend. Right wrist floats up. And then we're back to center. And we lean. And center. And lean. Again, what's most important is the torso leaning. This feeling of keeping internal equilibrium, even if we're slightly over here, and even if we're slightly over here. So it helps to have adaptable balance rather than a sort of rigid balance. Now, stay in the middle. We do a little arm exercise just to loosen up this junction, chest, arm, shoulder blade, upper back. This is a common area for holding. When people feel like they're trying to balance, they grab on up here, and we need to empty this out. So bring your feet together. Tip a little bit forward, float your arms forward and out in front of you and make a big circle. And then come back behind you a little bit. And we'll do that again. Come forward and a little out to the side and around and in. So that was the first level, down low. Let's do the second level, chest height. So forward, up to the chest level, big open. Turn your palms forward as you slide the arms down and stop at neutral. We'll do that once more. Forward, up. Make sure the hands are together, right? So that opens the back, and then we open the front all the way. Turn your palms forward and slide the arms down and let them hang. And then finally, we do full rein all the way up and out, way out and down. Forward, up, way up and out and down. All right. So we've loosened that area up a little bit. Now scoot to the middle of your chair so you're very stable. We'll just do a little bit with the legs and foot and ankle to get everything tuned up. Bring your right knee up. Take your hands, grab gently around the knee, and then bring that knee as much towards your body as you can. Flex the foot. Now open your hands and push through the leg, full extend, and then reverse that. Bring the foot up towards the chest, hug it in, and we'll do that to the other leg. Set that foot down. Now the other knee, lift, wrap your hands around it, pull it up and in, flex the foot. Now open the hand, full extension, push, reverse, load it again, and then set that foot down. Other side. Load, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down. Switch again. Load, push, load, down. And load, push, load, down. Now, foot and ankle. Straighten the right leg out, point and flex. And point, flex. Point, flex. Point, flex. Now, tilt the foot in, out, in, out, in, out. Now circle. In, point, out, flex. Circle. Reverse circle, out and around. Switch your feet. Other foot, point and flex. And tilt the foot a little in and out. Circle, in, around, and out. And out, around, and in. And down. Scoot to the front edge of your chair one more time. Last thing we do with the legs, step a little wider apart than hip distance. Lift the toes off the floor, turning on the heels. Turn your toes and your knees in, and then lift and turn your toes and knees out. Lift and turn your toes and knees in. Lift and turn toes and knees out. Two more. Internal rotation. External rotation. Internal. External. Back to neutral. Now the same rotation at the hips, but a little different down at the feet. Keep the balls of the feet on the ground. Lift your heels a little. Bring your heels in, your knees out. And then bring your heels out, your knees in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Two more times. Heels in, knees out, externally rotating from the hip. Heels out, knees in, internally rotating. One more time. Swivel and swivel. Back to neutral. Boom. Right in the middle between those two. Now from the same hip junction, we have to fold. So fold forward. Keep folding, keep folding, keep folding from the hips as far as you can. And then sit vertical. And then from those hips, tip back a little bit. Again, it's from the pelvis. Do it again. Forward. Now let's add to this. Hang your arms loose so that when you fold forward at your hips, you just keep your arms hanging. They should hang down around your shins and ankles. When you sit back up, your arms come along for the ride and they hang by your torso. When you tip back, the arms hang and they hang a little behind you. So see if you can get this flow. Fold, unfold, and fold. Okay, so we've done all this work in the chair to basically lubricate. To lubricate arms and shoulders, to lubricate the spine, the leg joints, the hips. Everything has a little bit more lubricant and space. Now let's use that to stand up. So we slide the feet back a little. Key thing here is what's called the primary direction is down. So right now you're down through your chair. When you fold forward and move your body forward a little, now your weight goes down through your feet. So then you can stand up pretty much easily. So the real talent, the real skill, the real challenge is, can you get your weight down to the earth? Can you change where that weight goes down to the earth? So here, notice when I fold, I don't bend my knees yet. So there's this initial hip hinge. And then I keep sinking the butt. So I'm folding here, even though my knees are bending. It's really about what's happening in the hips. And then eventually you get your butt near the chair. Then you commit to the chair. And now your body weight is down through the chair, right? So your feet are kind of empty here. And then to stand up, it's not about forcing yourself up, as many people try to do. It's more elegant than that. It's relax, fold forward, come forward so your weight gets down to the earth, and then you can just stand up tall. Same thing, but in reverse. We stay down through our feet, hip hinge, fold up this body, and land and back. One more time. Smooth. Now use that same set of mechanisms to not sit in your chair, fold and sink and dangle your arms near the shins, ankles, possibly your toes, possibly the floor, and then all the way back up. So think of this idea of lubricating. We want to have lubricated joints and tissue that can slide and glide and fold into this shape, and then all the way back up to standing. So a Tai Chi squat, usually we think of squat as like a power exercise. Think of the Tai Chi squat as this softening, melting, dangling down, and then rising up. So it's helping to basically unlock things that tend to be locked up. Now, we've got ourselves standing. You've got your chair situation on both sides. Move yourself over towards your right side chair and come and stand in front of it. So you got fingertips on the chair. And you use this to make sure you don't fall. And if you take a peek down at your feet, you have more foot in front of your ankle and you don't have an equal amount behind your ankle. So it's asymmetrical. So notice you can tip forward and really lean the body forward, but you don't do that in the same behind you. When you go back, if you look at my body here, as I rock back to my heels, I don't lean my body back. I actually kind of make a C curve, kind of like this. So you see this little fold, this little shape there. So forward into your toes, back into your heels. Forward into your toe, back into your heels. Now on this next one, go forward into your toes, stay there and lift your heels way up, all the way up. And then come back down to your heels, rock back into your heels. Make sure your hands on the chair for safety. Pull the toes up off the floor, the balls of the feet off the floor as well. And then down, rock forward and lift. Down, rock back, and lift. Twice more. Rock forward and lift. Down, rock back, and lift. One more. Up and back. Now find the middle. Place the heels of your hands on the back of the chair. Walk your feet back. Now you can just see in my body, I'm going to fold from that same hip crease, like so. So you stick the butt back, you're stretching your legs, buttocks, stretching your back and your shoulders. It's basically a downward facing dog. So stretch back. And then let's lift the chest a little and bring the hips forward a little. We're going to do this twice more. Hips back. And then you come out of it a little bit, your chest up, your hips forward, so you take the pressure out of the posture for a moment, and one more time. Oh. This is usually quite a relieving posture for back pain. I know, James, you mentioned you had some back pain today. It's the number one pain every human has is back pain. Let's go ahead and lift the chest up and walk forward. So a lot of times what back pain is, it's congestion, basically, compressing congested joints. And so movements like that open things up usually help. Turn and face forward. First exercise here. So you can have the hand on the chair or not, but put all the weight down through your right leg so that your left foot is no longer being used to hold you up. So that's a key bit in Tai Chi. From your middle, where my hand is, belly button, you change to have weight in one and then weight in the other. Now notice I'm not picking a foot up off the ground, right? I'm not doing something like this yet at all. I'm just changing the organization of my body parts to make a change, to fill this and empty this, and then fill this and empty this. So now let's test it. Put the weight down through your right leg. Can you do this? Slide your left foot forward a bit, back to neutral, and behind you a bit. Turn sideways so you can see movement from the whole leg, the hip. So see that sliding. I don't have any weight in it. Therefore, I can slide the leg and move the leg, but it's not disturbing. So when I take this foot forward, I'm not being pulled forward or backward, right? Now, bring the foot back to neutral and side and in. Side and in. Again, this is made possible because of this, because I've put the weight here so that this is now free to move. Now, turn, turn. External rotation, internal rotation. One more, external, internal, and now we switch. So put all the weight into this leg now, so this one's free. Hand on chair if it's helpful. Slide this foot forward, backward, forward, backward. Again, notice where my movement's coming from, up here in the hip. Back, forward, back. Now come to neutral and go out, in, out, in, out, in, and finally, external rotation, internal rotation, external, internal. All from this hip, from this empty hip, suddenly this leg has ability. Now, switch again. Put all the weight into your right leg. Your left foot being empty, the next thing we do is lift the heel and get to the tippy toe and put that heel down and switch. Shift the weight into your left leg and go tippy toe, down, shift. Tippy toe, down, shift. So the key is separate, empty, and full. That's a principle in Tai Chi practice. So we're first going, okay, one is full, one is empty. Now that this is empty, it can lift and lower, right? You can see I could do it really fast because it's empty and it's not disturbing my body position. And then I switch. So now my weight's here and not here. So this foot has that freedom. And then switch again. So that's level 1. Let's go to level 2 of this exercise. Hand on the chair. So you can go tippy toe, lift. Just a little bit. Place this whole foot down with no body weight and switch. Put all the weight in your left leg. Go tippy toe, lift. Down, shift. Tippy toe, lift. Put the foot down with no body weight. Shift. Tippy toe, lift. Down with no body weight. Shift. Middle. Vertical pillar. All that intact and everything relaxed as best as you can. Soft, loose. And then finally, level 3 of this exercise, hand on the chair, get to the tippy toe and lift all the way up as high as the knee will go, all the way back down, whole foot on the ground. Now the same leg, lift, down, lift, down. This is the sturdy leg. This leg has no weight, therefore it's the movable leg. Now, switch. Put all the weight through the other leg. Tippy toe, full lift, all the way down, foot on the ground. Tippy toe lift, down, lift, down. Now we switch each time. So change the weight. Once this one's empty, lift. Put it down with no body weight, and then shift. Once you've actually emptied the leg, then you can safely, effectively move it. And then switch. So what is usually getting people in trouble is that we've lost track of this skill, right? You can see it's kind of subtle. It's easy to miss. It's easy to overlook. Shit. But that's the meaning of the term. The primary direction is down, making sure you're aware of how did you get down plugged into the ground before trying to go up or out or back or forward or anything fancy. We make sure we go, okay, down. Once you got the down, then you can do stuff, right? One more. And next exercise. So make sure you back up a little bit from your chair so you have a bit of a runway. Put all your weight in your left leg. So if I'm your mirror, right? This is my left hand, but I'll say right hand. So put your right hand on the chair. Put all your weight in the left leg and put your right foot out in front, heel touching. So you want to have full empty. Now the primary direction is down. So go down through that foot that's in front of you. And then go down through the foot that's behind you. Notice how that moved you forward. Just by going down, your body is brought forward. You have a foot behind and you go down, and that moves you backward. Shift. Shift. Also think range of motion, sort of flexibility. That's why we want to, in this back leg, when you empty it, get all the way to the tippy toe. Lift the heel, kind of like you're pointing your foot, and then melt the foot to the ground, and this foot, pull the toes up. Shift. Shift. Now we just add challenge, okay? So all the weight's in your back leg, hand on the chair, lift, lower, shift. Now your back foot, tippy toe, like a little flamingo. Just bend the knee, put the toe down behind you, shift. So it's this added challenge, this added test of, okay, full empty. If this is empty, you should be able to lift, set it down, and then shift. Now if I've truly emptied the back foot, should be able to lift, put it down, shift. Lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift. Now, hand on chair, we go full lift, all the way down, softly touching the heel, and then shift. And now with this back leg, bring the knee forward and up, reach the toe behind, shift. Front leg, lift, down, shift. And again, lift, back, shift. Lift, down, shift. Shift. All right. Now let's do that same little set, but with the other arrangement of the body. So switch sides, bring feet together, side step. So now you're closer to this chair. And put all your weight in your right leg, put your left foot in front, empty. And just like I was saying earlier, the primary direction is down. So even though I'm moving forward, I'm not leaning, lurching forward. It's just down. Down, down, down. So this is the sort of crux of walking, this transfer. This changing from this being my full to this being the full. If you get that, then you can do a number of different other challenging things like lift, lower, shift. And then your back leg, empty, bend the knee. Lift, lower, shift. The weight goes all the way down through that back leg, so the front leg is a feather. Another way they describe this is the mountain and the cloud, right? So one leg is as sturdy as a mountain, the other leg as much levity as a cloud. And then we got to turn the cloud into the mountain into a cloud, and then switch again. Cloud and mountain and cloud. Now, hand on the chair, so you take your cloud leg all the way, and then softly land the heel and shift. Now, this one's the mountain. This is the cloud. Bring that cloud leg up, float it back, and then shift. Make it into a mountain. This one's the cloud. And then cloud, mountain, switch. And down. Switch back to your first side, side step. Now you're closer to this chair. Put all your weight once again in your left foot. Right foot in front, heel touching, foot empty. Now, down, down. When this back foot is a cloud, float that cloud forward, touch the heel down, empty, and then down. So we just moved forward 2 steps. Now going backwards 2 steps by going down. Wait until this foot's empty. Float the empty foot behind, touch it to the ground, and then go down. We just moved backwards 2 steps. Let's go forward 2 steps, smooth. Down, step, down. Backwards 2 steps. Down, step, down. So eventually it's flowing. But at first we got to discern what's happening. Down, step, down. Back, down, step, down. The more relaxed we can be, the quicker and eventually instantaneously the weight gets down. So then it's just down, step, down, right? So it can be fast, but we don't want it to be rushed, hurried, and clumsy. Down, step, down. So that's Tai Chi, is that we're not walking around clumsily trying to move. We're so relaxed that we're just down, down. Quick, but grounded, right? Now, level 2 of this, hand on the chair, we go lift, lower, shift, and then this back foot like you're stepping over an obstacle. So you got to float the foot, float it over top, set it down in front without any weight, and then down. Now, once that back foot's empty, like a flamingo, lift it, and then let's go back. Down, reverse, tuck, reach, down. Lift, straight leg. Lift, lower, shift down, step over, down, flamingo, and backwards. Down, reverse, and down. Once more, lift, lower, shift, step over the obstacle, float, and then down, little flamingo lift, and then in the reverse, down, step over the obstacle, float the foot up, tuck, reach, and then shift. Now, the final level 3 challenge. Full lift, down, shift. Now, full range of motion, heel to butt, knee to chest, foot in front, hover the foot down, shift, full knee lift, and reverse, shift, tuck, reach, shift, lift, lower, shift, heel, knee, foot, lower, and shift. Knee, toe back, and then we go shift, waiting until you've actually emptied this leg. Stays empty, stays empty, stays empty, and then you shift. Now this leg's the empty leg. One more time. Lift and lower, shift. Once you've made this the mountain, then this is the cloud. And then you make this one the mountain, this one's the cloud. So prematurely rushing your step is usually what's getting people in trouble. We're sort of moving and we're not separating empty and full and separating empty and full, which is what we need to do to move smooth and be grounded. Right? So now switch sides over to your other chair. Put all your weight in your right leg, left foot in front, heel touching. Level 1. Shift, step, shift. 2 steps forward. And then back. Shift, step, shift. Shift, step, shift. Shift, step, shift. Loose. Rounded, but loose. Level 2, we add the addition of separating from the ground. So lift, lower, shift, hand on chair as needed, step over that small obstacle, foot down, shift, then flamingo with the back foot. So each time we're making sure to have the foot empty, and we test it by saying, okay, can I step over that obstacle? Shift. Can I float the foot and lower the foot and then shift? And then you can find out, did you really empty it when you try and step it over? And then shift. And then did you really empty it? Shift. Up, tuck, reach. Shift. One more, level 2. Over the obstacle. It's also very practical. Stepping into and out of a bathtub, stepping over a curb, it shows up all the time. This need to do what we're doing. Now, hand on the chair, let's go full range. So all the way up, float the heel down, shift. Now full range, heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower it down, empty, shift. And then bring this knee forward and up, toe back, shift. Now we go up, tuck. Very important part right here, reaching the foot back, but notice I didn't fall back into the foot. I'm still here. So this ability to reach back, but stay grounded here, then shift. Lift and lower, shift. Heel, knee, same thing here. When I put the foot down, I need to be able to set it down empty. Then shift. Bringing the knee up, reaching the foot back without leaving this leg. Then shift. Now this is the empty leg. Be able to reach it back without putting any weight in it. Then shift. Let's do that one more time. Lift, lower, shift, heel, knee, foot, down, shift. Up and back. Up, tuck, Shit. And together. Now let's put it into practice. Come to the far left of your space and turn down range. So you want to create as big of a runway as you can while having your chairs there as your backup, your safety. Because again, zero tolerance policy for falling, right? Now, put all your weight in your right leg, heel in front, empty. So we've got mountain, cloud. Now, the weight goes down through your left foot. So now your left foot's the mountain, step your right foot like a cloud, and then put the weight down through the right leg. Left foot empty, step it, and then down. So walk down your runway 4, 5, 6, 7 steps, however much room you have. When you get to the end, then walk backwards. Same thing. Don't do premature stepping. That's what'll get you in trouble. Wait until you've actually emptied a foot before you step it. Then shift the weight into it so the other foot's empty. Step the empty foot. Shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. Important, starting small with these steps at first to allow you to work on that term zhongjang, central upright, your vertical pillar, to keep this intact while walking and just going down, 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 and then reversing down, 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 down. Now, this can then be put into practice if you watch me. So that maybe took me 8 steps, let's say, to get across the room because I was taking small ones, right? 1, 2, all the way across. Once you're able to actually find the way down, you can take a bigger step. The problem is if you're not going down, you can get yourself over your skis. So just watch how I take a big step, but yet I still just go down through that leg. And then I take a bigger step, but down. So you see my straight line isn't falling past my toes. It's still vertical. Take a big step and then go down. So I just got across here in 3 steps or 4 steps because I just took longer strides, but yet it's still just down. Same thing going backwards. You can take a bigger step back and then go down to the earth. Bigger step back, down to the earth. So I'm sure you've experienced it or you've seen or heard from other folks with Parkinson's that experience, they try to go faster and they end up going slower and even to the point where they're stopped. By trying to move fast, 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 they get stuck versus Tai Chi. Slow down, relax, and then go 1, 2. So I just moved fast across the room by going really, really slow. By being super relaxed. So just try that for, let's say, another 4 or 5 times. Just work on longer strides. Keep it within your comfort zone, but work on covering some real distance. Covering real ground just by being softer, right? Because soft means pliable. So that means instead of your legs being stuck together at the hips with tension, they're loose. And you can stride across and stride. That looks great, everybody. Really good. And just keep in your mind this concept of down, right? Just going down to the earth, down to the earth, down to the earth, down, down, down. Right? So just notice that Tai Chi has a sort of paradoxical idea inside of it that at first doesn't make sense, but then in practice it makes a lot of sense. This idea of slowing down and softening and elongating as your means of getting faster. So it's less effort. It's actually dissolving effort so we can be like kind of like an octopus in our movement. And that's what you see in Tai Chi that they're practicing is this quality of mechanism hydraulics, and that allows for more athleticism and more function. But we have to slow down to find it. Okay. Now, uh, being at this left side of your space, let's work on our sideways walk. So, put all your weight in your left leg, right leg empty, and we go out, in. We're going to do that a few times. The key bit here again is that this stepping leg, we are elongating it and then retracting it. We're not stuck to the leg and getting pulled over there, right? Like a wooden sort of body that has no pliability. We're not stuck to the leg. We have this extendable and retractable limb. Extend, retract, extend. Now keep your right foot out there, underground. Change so that your weight is down through the right leg, but keep your left heel and toes on the ground. So your left leg had to extend. Now shift the weight into your left leg. Notice your left leg kind of like an accordion kind of closes, and this one, like an accordion, elongates. And then switch again. Down. Notice you're moving sideways in space, but you're not leaning. There's no lean required, right? This junction here, we just go down, down. 100, 0, 100, 0. So keeping this width between your feet and shifting and shifting, right? Now, weight down through your right leg. Left leg should be empty. In, out. Retract it, extend it. Retract, extend, retract. Now, keep your left foot right next to your right foot. The primary direction is down. Change the weight down through your left leg. Can you slightly lift your right? And then change down through the right. Can you slightly lift the left? Down, slight lift. And the lift is really just a test, just a check to say, could you really commit to one? And then from your middle, commit to the other. And then commit to the other. And commit to the other, right? Now with the right foot empty, step side. And then shift. This one empty. Bring it in. Down through the left. So now we're walking sideways. Extend. Shift underground. Bring that left foot in. Down through the left. Extend. Shift. In. Shift. Out. Shift. Bring that left foot in. Once you got to the end of this runway, then we're going back the other way. Extend. So one of the sayings in Tai Chi, the weight change happens underground. So I'm not up here leaning and tipping clumsily. I'm relaxed. I'm plugged in underground. So now I'm plugged in here, this step here. Now I'm transferring underground. Now I'm here, so this foot's free to step in. And then underground, you're here, so you can step, change, step, change, step, change, step, change, step. Now let's add challenge to the sideways walk. Step to your wide stance. Remember how we shifted and shifted back. So just do that again. But what we add to it is, again, if you're coming also to the Friday class, you have learned some of these upper body choreographies and movements. So we add that to our walk to do intermediate Tai Chi. So this is the first intermediate Tai Chi movement that we do. Shift the weight to the right leg. Turn, brush, and sweep. Now, turn your hands around so the palms both face to the left. First, shift underground, body weight into your left leg. Turn from your middle, your belly and low back, and then brush and sweep. Turn the hands. Once again, shift underground. Turn from your middle, brush, sweep. This is the bear washing its paws in the stream. Turn the palms. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Now let's add the walk. Turn your hands. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Now with the hands over here, step your left foot in. Keep that left foot in, shift into the left leg, turn from your middle, brush, sweep. Now keep the hands over here, right foot should be empty, separate it, elongate it, step it out, turn your palms, now you're ready to go. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Hands stay over here, step that left foot in. Now, shift, turn, brush, sweep, in that order. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Right foot should be empty, step it out. Turn the palms, now we're ready to go. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Left foot empty, step it in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Right foot empty, step it out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift and turn, brush and sweep. Step in, step out. Let's go back the other way. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step out. Shift and turn, brush and sweep, step in. Shift and turn, brush, sweep, step out. Shift, turn, step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step in. So again, you'll know if you come to that Friday class, especially now, let's do the bear swats the jumping fish. So right hand low, left hand comes up chest level. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Now, can you time together? As you step the left foot in, bring left hand down, right hand up. Now you're ready to go shift, turn, brush, and swat the fish. Now, simultaneous, as the hands are changing high, low, high, step. And then we're going shift, turn, brush, swat the fish. As the arms are changing, bring the left foot in. Shift and turn, brush and swat. As the hands are changing, step out. Shift, turn, brush and swat. And you can see with how I'm doing it, slow, slow. Slow is more demanding on the neural network, which is right where anything that's brain and nervous system challenge related, that's right where we need help. That's right where we need to direct our conscious attention. So slow down enough to be tracking the whole experience. This is an incredibly rich experience for your brain and body. Shifting, turning, brushing, swatting. Now we're going to head the other way. As the arms are changing, bring the foot in. Shifting, turning, brushing, swatting. As you step out, the arms are changing. You'll notice the more you practice that in the beginning you skip. You sort of go, everything's kind of clumsy and you're missing all this rich, beautiful brain and body control. And what most people report as the result of Tai Chi, they feel like they have more time, especially when it comes to falling. Where at the beginning, when you fell, it just bang, you were just down. But then you start to actually notice all of the almost losing of balance, and then you can catch yourself before you actually fall. So slow down. Find all these little neural network connections. In, out. So there, back one more time. This also is teaching us where the middle is. You find the middle by exploring the extended range, by doing all the way left and all the way right, all the way up and down, and then the switching of the down and the up. That helps us coordinate, helps our brain start to understand and remember the terrain of the brain, nervous system, and how to operate your vehicle. One more time on the way back, shifting, turning, brush and swap, shift and turn. And it is the case that after you clear and find all of this richness inside, then you can, there's movement again. But you can see, even when I speed up, I'm not losing that rich quality. I'm not just kind of going like this and this and this, right? I'm still have all of that consciousness that I could slow down and speed up and speed up and slow back down. So it's this range, this variability of movement that we want to gain. So we're not just at one speed and one speed only, and we hope it works, right? So Tai Chi is, it's not about going slow and walking around life like a tortoise forever, right? But it's about slowing down to retrain, retune the network so that then you have all the ranges available to you. Okay, and then we close with just a little self-massage. Hands come together, palms. Rub the back of one hand, palms. Rub the back of the other hand, palms. Now this lower half mechanism that tends after doing walking exercise to be a little stagnant perhaps. So we go hands on the groin, up and down the groin line, the inguinal crease, then the hip flexors. Notice I changed the angle. I'm kind of around the body and in and out and in. And then follow that line around to your tail. Try to disperse the tail area so it doesn't feel jammed. Come up onto the lumbar and rub those back muscles. And then remember our opening squat that we did, hips back. As you sit your buttocks, sweep your hands down the outside of the legs, around the outside to the inside, and then come up the inside as you stand back up tall, past your groin to your navel. And we do it again. Groin or inguinal crease. So again, we do it from the top. We go groin, hip flexors, tail, lumbar, and then flow around to the inside, flow up to the belly button, to the middle, right to the middle. One more time. Groin. Remember groin, hip flexors. So we do this whole little thing, tail, lumbar, legs flow, the yang channels around to the yin channels and up. And we're at the navel. And then finally, yang channel, turn, yin channel, and off. So we flow that on this arm a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then the other side. This idea of starting slow so you get the whole paved pathway of the movement that then eventually can and then finally bounce, loosen any last places of stuck, right? We want flow, unimpeded flow, and then close the whole practice. Wing, roll, fold, a consolidating gesture, settle the hands to the belly, turn the palms to face the belly, and then this sealing of center of one palm right over top of the navel, other hand on top, sort of this cork, finishing the practice. And then we'll bow just to say, done. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Great job. If you have any insights, questions, anything at all, feel free. You'll have to unmute, of course.